morning, everyone. My name is Andrew O'Donnell, and funny enough, I am not, I'm here representing Tudor, but I don't work for Tudor Gold at all. This is a bit of a funny audible call by Walter Storm. I wrote up, I'm a newsletter writer, and I wrote up Tudor a couple months back, and I love the potential in the company. So there was a bit of a problem with Catalin, who was going to present. He's doing fine, but he had to go to the hospital. He will be here later on this afternoon to speak with you as well, but I was happy to jump in to talk about the presentation, how I see it, and give my point of view. I think that this is an exceptional opportunity to look at, and once again, I thank everyone for allowing me to speak. So Tudor Gold, we're talking about the heart of the Golden Triangle. There we go. Forward-looking statements, I'll skip by that. Yes, it'll be forward talk. Luckily, I'm not a person from the company, but we'll talk quickly right off the bat about the share structure, because whenever I'm looking at a company, one of the most exciting things I want to look at is how is it set up, who's involved. So right now, we're looking at 111 million, 112 million shares outstanding. The big thing here is you're looking at the major holdings or Tudor Holdings, which is Walter Storm, and that's 48% of the company, and just lately Eric Sprott came in for 5% of the company. So things like that are pretty good indicators to me that there's strong money behind it. In a zone like the Golden Triangle, Northwest BC, a safe jurisdiction where, as for myself as a newsletter writer, my thesis is, from the whispering, is that money's coming home. Money's looking for safe jurisdictions, and talk about good management and good, strong money and a strong property. This has got all these boxes checked, and we'll go through that. So lately you've seen as well that after PDAC especially, there's been a lot more interest, not only from other writers, including myself, but also just money flowing into it, because people have been sitting there wondering what's happening with Tudor, what's the story. And part of that story is the fact that they've brought on Ken Conkin to lead the charge for Walter, because this really is Walter, as many of you will know, was a co-founder of Osisko Mining, and he brought that up to a $4.5 billion company. So, but this is really Walter's kind of baby as well, and he's positioned himself to be able to buy that land and sit on it. And I'll talk about why that's such an attractive situation, because it's strategic. But when Ken came on, he's an award-winning geologist that many will know from Pretium's Valley of the Kings, and that's a huge resource. So when Ken came on just in January from Peru, he came up here and took a look at everything and was real excited and really aggressively wanted to push this company forward. That was a big catalyst for me, as well as I wanted to see, okay, great, you've got a great jurisdiction, you've got Walter, which is a great name, you've got excellent support, who's going to drive this? And Ken is quite the character with a huge background, and he's got a whole program in place. So this is an exciting story to follow. What's so great about it? Well, it's a strategic location. We're talking about being right next door to Pretium's Bruce Jack, as well as Seabridge's KSM. This is pretty outstanding. I think it's 12 kilometers east of SK Creek's old mine. So it's a major region with major producers and players, including Newmont and Barrick and of course Pretium. So right back in March, they did a bit of a raise then, and right now they're currently doing a raise as well. As an outsider, I don't see them having too much of an issue raising money with this project. I feel pretty confident in it. They're going to be doing flow through now in hard dollars by the end of the month. So that is an opportunity for people as well. Once again, I'm confident in it, and I feel pretty strong about that. So this is a sizable plot of land as well. So we're talking about I'll move forward here. We're talking about 4 different properties. Today we're going to focus on one, but the entire properties is 4 properties encompassing 38,000 hectares. And you can see there, we're looking at the southern part of the triangle there, which is extremely attractive, and it's bundled up there besides some extremely attractive comparable data and finds. So where else do you want to look then, wherever there's been finds before? And I think anybody who's looked at Seabridge or looked at Pretium, you can see that the numbers are pretty outstanding. And as we move along forward here, we'll see that what Ken sees and the program that he set in place. So we're going to focus on Treaty Creek, though. Knowing that we've got those other 3 properties, today we'll just focus on that. So this is, and I would even consider it one of the largest undeveloped gold and copper resources. Certainly Tudor and Ken think so as well. It's adjacent to deposits that we mentioned before. I won't go through all the numbers, but we can see there between Pretium and Seabridge that there's outstanding data. And that's kind of the stage that we're at here as well, is that they're at an aggressive data building stage to build a case. With that, my understanding here is that they're going to do about 20 meter apart drill holes until they don't find anything, to really narrow down what do they talk about in scope in the size of the property. And we're talking about this over here, the Treaty Creek, which is close to the iron cap of KSM. So it's not that far away, and and what's so attractive as well about this is that this is amendable to an open pit mine. So a lot of the data is showing that this could be an open pit situation, which would be also extremely favorable. So another actually excellent kind of aerial version of what we're looking at, and that kind of cluster of mines and targets. And as mentioned, there is an aggressive step-out program of 20 drill targets, diamond drill targets this year, and it's going to be a 14,000 meter program, once again, depending on the amount of funds raised, but I think that's going to be quite promising. The other thing that's been talked about for years and kind of hum and hawas is this Seabridge proposed tunnel underneath the Tudor land. Is that going to go through? So that is under discussion as well, and that is for Seabridge to get towards their proposed mill site. So all of this spells extremely good news for any kind of data gathering and buildup of case for Tudor. You're next to a lot of infrastructure. You're next to a lot of a buildup of both Pretium and Seabridge of spending money. And not only that, you've got a tunnel that's going to run through the property. So you're looking at a lot of potential exit strategies at some point whenever the case is built up. And from my point of view is this is money well spent to build up that case to show, listen, this is what we're sitting on. And the longer you can hold on that, as we know, that kind of exploration curve, the better price you're going to get for it. There's no point in doing a couple drill holes and selling too early. So hopefully the case is that they're going to build a strong case, push forward, and develop this into a significant situation. We touched on infrastructure very quickly, and as we know, there's power resources that are available up there. There's a deep ocean port. I think it's 350 kilometers from Terrace. One of the great things that bringing Ken on board is that you're getting a lot of extra goodwill from the likes of Pretium and providers up there. He's bringing a whole cachet of not only people and smarts to this program, he's bringing a wealth of relationships already up there that are going to be a real goodwill money. That I couldn't even put a number on, but it's going to help enormously. Moving forward, we can see that the whole kind of track of land here is what's kind of well known, the thin red line or the Kibble red line, which is a famous position. That is a very favorable geological situation that I'll leave more to Ken to talk about. I'm not a geologist by trade, but it is something that adds a lot more flavor to kind of expose, to talk about the extensive alteration zones that are there. So some of the great highlights here, we won't go through the details here of the Copper Belt or the Gold Storm zones. All that data we can go through at our booth. From my job, I see is just getting the general story and get the excitement of where is this opportunity. And they've got data already, and it's a matter of they're going to be drilling some data very soon. This program is ready to go, and they've got relationships to get the assay results out as fast as possible. As we know, last year there was some slowdown in the assay results out of a lot of companies from the Golden Triangle, but we don't anticipate that to be an issue this year as well. So as I said, they're doing sampling in geophysics, and there's the drill program that is moving forward, which is built, once again, building that case. And the way I look at it is a perfect opportunity to start building, as they're meeting their milestones, building a position into a company that has the management, has a lot of smart money behind it, is going to be able to raise money, and is getting a real spotlight put onto it because it's sitting in an amazing area. There's no better place to look than beside a Seabridge, a KSM, and a Pretium. So come by the booth. Catalin will be there later. Ashley is there from Cronus as well to speak with you. I, of course, will be wandering around. I'll also be there and, of course, answer any questions. But it's a real honor to be at asked by Walter to talk about Tudor because as a third party, I'm not paid by Tudor. I haven't got any options, no shares, no nothing. I don't work for him. Just wanted to let people know that I believe in this. I think this company is going to do some amazing things this summer. It's definitely one to watch. So thank you very much.